All right, guys, so you've handed over the deal to the title company or attorney. Theoretically, you should be done, right? They handle the transaction and you just wait for your check. It's not always that simple. I wanted to create a chapter on getting the seller to the closing table and pretty much getting the deal done. Just because you hand it over to the attorney, that doesn't mean that all things are easy. Now, there are some issues that may pop up throughout this process. And you'll see that, the more attorneys or title companies you deal with, some of them are very proactive with getting this stuff done. And some of them, can delay closing themselves just because they forgot to get or follow up about the seller information sheet or just small stuff. So I wanted to create basically a chapter about being proactive. Let's do it. So you need to let your seller know that the attorney or title company will be sending them a seller information sheet. If there's one thing that will delay a closing, it's the seller info sheet, right? And this, guys, is a sheet that attorney or title company sends to the seller. And the seller needs to fill that out ASAP and get it back to the attorney because the attorney needs that sheet in order to get the title work started. That's all the information they need. If there's a loan on that property, they need the loan number. They need authorization to pull stuff. Like, they need that seller information sheet ASAP. And if you're dealing with, a seller who, it's hard to get in contact with, or maybe older or don't have access to even, like, you need to make sure that goes as smoothly as you can as well. The attorney should do their job, but you need to make sure and let that seller know that, hey, a seller information sheet is coming, and please fill it out as soon as you can and get it back. We're just setting the expectation, right? All right. If they are not able to attend closing, guys, the closing docs can either be mailed to them or a mobile notary can meet them. Both of those costs, right? So you may have an out-of-state seller, right? And they say, I can't attend closing, I can't fly in for it, no problem. Or an hour away and they don't want to attend, no problem. The attorney can mail you the documents, or we can have a mobile notary meet you. Both of those costs, usually the max for like a mobile notary is like $250. So sometimes me to add, cherry on top, I'll just tell them I'll cover that for you. Just another benefit of going with us. But if you don't want to cover that for them, you need to let them know, yes, you can do that, but there is a fee for that. But if they are attending closing, they won't have to worry about any of that. Most of them will attend the actual closing if it's in their market and they live there. But they will ask you this if they're out of state. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew. Here we go. Another thing about being proactive. If there are any issues that come up, you need to do your best to assist your attorney or title company. If they ask for help or whatever, or you're checking in, whatever, be proactive with them. Help them. They will appreciate it. Even though, again, it is their job to solve a lot of this stuff. A lot of my deals, I'll help out, So just do your best to get to that closing table because your check counts on it, right? All right. And this is your attorney will cover this, or hopefully will cover this. But I wanted to put it in here because the seller will ask you. Some of the time, the seller can receive their funds from the attorney or title company via wire or check, but it's after the deed records. Seller needs to be aware, and again, your attorney or title company should let them know that funds are dispersed after the deed and all the closing documents are recorded at the county. So it's not like seller signs at noon and receives a check at 12:30, 30 minutes later. That doesn't happen. If they sign at noon, maybe an attorney records it around, 2 or 3, and then maybe they receive their check maybe an hour or two later. It all depends on the attorney and when they record and when they can disperse the funds. So I wanted to throw that in there. Okay, so we need to make sure that seller knows what time they're signing, right? I always like to confirm a few days before closing. Title work's done, everything's good to go. We're just scheduling closing now, right? Your attorney should schedule that closing with the seller. I want to reach out to the seller. I'll send them a text. Hey, just wanted to know if you've confirmed your time to sign on Friday. So they know. And then not only do they know, they told you and you just reminded them. Great. Again, we are being proactive. I need to get that seller and everything done as smoothly as possible. And those are just some quick notes on getting them to the closing table, guys. We're almost at the end. We're right there. We can see the money. We just got to make sure everything happens correctly. I'll see you guys in the next chapter.